Okay, so today we are going to talking about the networking, right? So if you look at this app, why is this the Twitter app, right? So this week we are going to clone the Twitter app. It's cool, right? So what we are going to do, something we will cover within this one is like we do the auto layout with the dynamic constraint. So what does it mean by the dynamic constraint? So if you look at this one, for example, this cell, you have this have the label here say this one is this user retweet this tweet, right? So, before I go to that one, is there anyone doesn't know what Twitter is? It's not so popular in Vietnam, but people using a lot in the US or the Europe area, right? But it's not so famous in Vietnam. People just from Vietnam more on Facebook, right? But so if you don't have the Twitter account, later you need to register for a Twitter account to do this assignment. Very easy, just similar to Facebook. Okay, so the dynamic constraint, you see this one is some you need to know. For example, this tweet were retweeted by this user, then you have this cell it had this row, but for example this cell it doesn't have this row, right? So for example, before when you do the yep, so every single cell it had the same element, right? Every single cell it had the image, it had the address, it had the name, it had the categories. But in this case, some cells have the retweet label. Some cells may even have the image. Some people can do the tweet with the image, right? And they have like one image, two images, three images, four images. Some people also post a video, right? And then on your cell, how you go into display the thing. That's one we need to do the dynamic constraint. And then on the networking, we're going to learn how we're going to use our app to get the data from Twitter API, right? And then the persistent here is just basically like if you log into the app and then later you turn off the app, you open again, it doesn't require you to log in again. For example, you use Facebook. Is it require you to every time you open Facebook you need to log in again? No, right? So that's why we call the persistent in this case. So even you turn off the app, you open again, it should know, hey, you already logged in before. You should able to go directly to your home screen. Don't ask you to log in again, right? Something like that. Okay, so before that one, we talk a little bit about the networking. So the first one is deprecated. We don't use that one anymore. But some other thing like NSURL session. So do you remember this one? Where did we see this one? On assignment 1. So when you load the data, right? When you fetch the movie, so we have the session and then the request. So let me open back that one. What do we have? Flick. Okay, so here what we have before. We have the URL request and then we create a URL session and then we create a task with a URL session data task. So this one we have just the basic network code to code the API, right? And to get the data, whatever the data from return from this API. And then in here, one thing you notice here, we have a cache policy. Anyone play around with this one? The cache policy. So what does it mean the cache policy here? Let me talk about this slide first. Huh? So the cache policy will have a few cache policy. For example, like the reload, ignore local cache data, or return the cache data load, or return the cache data don't load. So what is the difference between those three? So if you look at this one, for now what we said is reload, ignore the local cache data. So when it's if we implement, not implement, we enable, it's already there, we don't need to implement anything, we just enable. If we enable the cache, Remember in assignment 1 there one optional, not optional, the required thing, like you need to show the network error when there is no network, right? But if you enable the cache, the local cache, then even you turn off the network, it still work. Anyone face that one? You turn off the Wi-Fi, but you run the app, it still run, nothing crash. Why? Before at that moment, it load the thing from the cache. It not fed the data from the network. It still use the local data. If you load that one once, it store the data into the cache, and then if you still using this one, you use the return cache. So it means that if the cache, if there's something in the cache, then just load that one for me. Don't fetch the data from the network. That one's just some of the thing to have your app run faster. If something only there in the cache, then just load the cache. But if like in this case, we want to try to test the thing. That's it. If there are no networks, show something, then you can turn on this one, like reload, ignoring local cache data. Meaning, whatever the cache, ignore the thing in the cache, in the local cache. I always want the new one from the network. So you can set this one, the cache policy. So you can later you can go back and play around with this one. Just try the cache policy, and then it had some auto suggestion. Okay. And then going back, this one, AF networking. So we talk about that one, right? And then some people ask me what is the difference between AF networking and Alamo file, right? So if we look at this one, Alamo file is one of the top 3 SDK that being used by the top 200 app on Apple Store. You see here though, the thing that's like more than 100 apps from the top 2 using the Alamo file. It's like more advanced and more feature to use with Alamo file. And you see here some of the very famous app like what is Snapchat, right? The Instagram. I don't know. This Prisma, what? Prisma, Pandora, and then Netflix. This is what, Talking Top Cat or what? Whatever. So we see a lot of top apps from App Store. They are using Alamo file. So if you want, now it's up to you. You are free now to use whatever the bot you can find. Try to learn that one, read the documentation, and learn how to implement the bot into your app. Okay. Handling the network failure. So again, this is how we are going to use the reachability. I talked about that one earlier, but this is the code to implement that one. So if you notice here, we have the reachability, and then that's actually a bot. To install the bot reachability, and then you can use this one. So you see here we have the NS notification center, and then this one we set up this one so that it will observe. We add the observer. So if anything changes to the network, it will trigger. Hey, I just change, for example. Hey, I just lost the connection, and it knows something happened. This is the when you add the observer, it will have the selector. So the selector will be this one. Again, this code in Swift 2. If you want to use this one, you need to convert this one to Swift 3. Easier for you now. For example, this one is the function will be triggered if anything changed on the reachability. So if that one is observe anything change, it will trigger this function. Right. And in this one, it will check like if you are connected to Wi-Fi or connected to what the 3G or whatever name. It can display, for example, here. If you are connected to Wi-Fi, then it will show the movie. This is actually the code from the movie app. Or something wrong, then it can show the error message. Right. If you lost the connection, it can show the error message. So this is how we use the reachability. The cache policy, I just talked about that one. Okay, so this is the main focus for this week, authentication. So for first week, we use the movie database API, but for that one, there is require any authentication. Right? Anyone with the link can get the data, right? So the only thing is require the API key, which is when you register for the movie database API, to give you the API key, you plug it in and you can load the data, right? Similar to the Yep, right? It's also you doesn't need to have, you also don't need to have an account, right? You had a customer key and then customer secret. That one you just plug it in and then you can run, right? Let me open back the Yep. What up? That's it. Okay, so remember this one, the Yep client. Okay, so in this one you just have the consumer key and then the consumer secret, and you just plug in this one and you can run, right? But then this also doesn't require you to have an account to log in anything. And then today we are going to learn one thing on the Twitter, the Twitter API. So for the Twitter API, this is required that you need to have an account, the actual Twitter account to use that one. So for the authentication, there are few. It had the OAuth 1.0, OAuth 2. So OAuth 1.0 is being used by for some example like the Yep, Twitter, and Tumblr. OAuth 2 is like for Facebook, Google, Instagram. So if you want to read about OAuth, then this had the link here. It's very good documentation about OAuth. If you want to read about that one. Today I will talk about OAuth 1.0 only. Then later you can, from that one you get the idea what is the OAuth is and how to implement the OAuth into your app, and then it's easier for you later if you want to work with some other thing, like you want to implement the Facebook into your app. Like for example, if you notice there are a lot of apps like user can like sign with Facebook, sign with Google, right? It doesn't require you to create your new account on the application, right? How they did it, how they do the thing, right? You see some similar login screen like this. Either you can log in with your own account or you sign in with Facebook or sign with Google, right? Something similar to that. But this week again we are going to talk about OAuth 1.0 only. Okay, so this is the flow of OAuth 1, so 1.0. So it had something. It may, if you are not familiar with this one, it may like look complicated. We will go step by step. So basically, we had 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3 here. So from your application, see that the application you are going to build, and it will send the request to get the request token. And then from here, the service means the server. For example, in this case, will be the Twitter server. It will return the request token. Later, I will walk through this one to see what is the request token, what is the access token, the thing. And then after we get the request token, so it will move this one to another page. You need to log into, for example, Twitter. Similar to Facebook, if you want to log into Facebook, right? It will move you to another page. It say, hey, you need to log into Facebook, and it say, I authorize this app to use my Facebook account to log into this app, something like that, right? So it will move to the login page, and then from here, it the user, meaning you need to key in your whatever your account to log in your account and say, I authorize for this app. So after it authorized, so it go back to the you authorize for that application to use your Facebook or your Twitter account. Then for now the app will get the access token. So the access token is like a key. So your app will use this key to temporarily access your account, for example, to post on your behalf. Like for example, if you want to post a new tweet, then the application with the access token can post a new tweet for you using your account. Okay. So to do this assignment, you need to have the thing. You need a Twitter account. So if you don't have that one, just later you go back and register for a Twitter account, and then you go to this one, the developer. go to this page. It's the developer for Twitter. So and also register for developer account, and from developer, let me open. Okay, so this is what you have in the developer account. You sign in that one, and then you have something like this. You have the documentation for the Twitter API. So there will be a lot here, documentation. What we need to focus is the award. This will be the first one. The award is for, it's actually this page. The award is it show you how to use the award to register to log into Twitter. And then after this one, you need to look in at the REST API. After you are able to log in, you need to go to REST API. So for the REST API, here you have something like you want to get the user timeline, right? You want to get the timeline. For example, you go to his account, you want to show whatever on his timeline, similar to, let me show on Twitter. Okay, so for example, this is my home timeline. So if you use the API called home timeline, right? If you go to the API home timeline, and then I will able to get those things from my home timeline. Okay, and then if I go to the user timeline, then I will be able to, for example, if I click on this user, I will see I will be able to get the thing from this user. So that's some of the API we are going to try to use this one. But the first thing first, we need to know how to use the award to log in, right? So let me start with the project. Oh, one more thing, sorry. You also need to create a new app on Twitter app, the Twitter developer. So if you go to this link, the app.twitter.com, from here you say you create a new app, and then this is some of the app I already created. So what does it mean by the app? So when you create this one, and then later in your app you say that, hey, you want to use the information from the app. What is the information you need? For example, I click on one of the app I created before. Okay, so this is, I say this is my app. I name it my Twitter CS Code Scoop, and some of the description for this one. Some of the things you need to set the access level. So for the access level, you need the read and write permission. If you create an app, it will ask you for the permission. How do you grant the access for this app? Like I want the read and write before, because later I'm not just only read whatever on my home timeline, but I also want to, I want to post something new. I mean, I need the right access. Okay, and then when you create the app, it will ask you for this is not this one. Later we will use this one, the callback URL. I show you what it mean later, and then you have something like the on the keys and access token. Okay, so you have the consumer key and then the consumer secret. So this is the two things we also need to notate. Later we will use that one. Okay, let's get back to the. Okay, so again, this is the list of apps you create on the new app. It will ask for the app name, name whatever you want, as long as it's not duplicate with whoever choose the name before. This one just description, website, name, I should put wherever you want, but the callback URL you need to remember last one. I put the callback URL here, but okay, so just put the callback URL. It also doesn't matter, later we can override that callback URL. So for now, the callback URL here is this is the callback URL. You can put whatever you want there. It doesn't matter now, because later we will override this one. Okay. Okay, so that's the three things you need to prepare before you can do this assignment. And now let me go back to the Twitter app. So for like previous, the Yep, you had some project like called Yep Starter, right? And then we only implement the Yep client for you. and you can start from there. You have the feature, the function to search with some parameter already. But in this case, you need to build everything from zero. Okay, and I show you how to build that one. So what I did is, see, I create a project. Actually, it's an empty project. What I have here is just only one single view. On my storyboard, I had the login view controller, right? And then on that one, I should add. So remember, from now on, you should use auto layout, right? Don't disable auto layout. What I have here is just only one button, and I set the layout for this button as well. So the width, the height, and then the set this button to be in the center of the screen on the horizontal axis, and then the distance to the button. So it's just up to you to want to set the layout as long as it doesn't complain anything. Okay, so I had the button here. I have the only one view controller with one button. What else do we have? Let's take a look on the board. Okay, so for the board file, what do we have here? AF networking and BDB OAuth 1 manager. So familiar with this one? Remember the Yep app? We also use the same thing, right? So AF networking and BDB OAuth. Don't change this one. Don't change the version here. This is the good combination. Some other version of BDB OAuth, it doesn't work well with AF networking. And another way around, same thing. If you don't specify this version, it will download the latest version and it may not work along with the BDB OAuth. Okay, so just keep the AF networking 3.0 and BDB OAuth to be 2.0. And you notice here, BDB OAuth 1, so meaning this one is for the OAuth 1, it's not OAuth 2. If you want to use the OAuth 2 for Facebook, for Google, you need to use another board. This board is just for OAuth 1. Okay. So before I talk about this one, a bunch of things you may not get the idea what it mean, right? Okay, so to summarize, just again 3 steps, right? We need to do on the Twitter, and you see actually it had a link here. If you go to this link, it describes very detailed step by step what you need to do, and quite long, but then I'm going to show you how to do that one. So everything is empty, right? You see here, this one, the login view controller is also empty. I just drag in here one function called on login. So meaning when I tap on the login button, so it will execute the code here. Okay. Okay, so what we are going to do, let me go back to this one. The first step is to obtain the request token. Right, so how are we going to do that one? So here I only import the BDB OAuth. Okay, so with that one, remember for the Yep client you had something like, for the Yep app you had something like Yep client, right? Remember that one? You had a Yep client and you got share and dot search with term, something like that, right? We are going to do the same thing for that one. So we create a constant called Twitter. This one what will be the BDB our session manager, and then this one will be the one we use. We had the base URL. Yes. Oh, it's small. Reference, and then this one presentation bigger. Okay. Okay. Too big. Ooh. Okay, so first we create a Twitter client with the parameter variable of the BDB or session manager. So we need a session manager to handle everything from that one. So we have here, what are the parameter we need to put in? The first one will be the base URL, and then we have the consumer key and then the consumer secret, right? So let's go to this one. If you go back to your app, your Twitter app you created before, and go to key and access token, you will see here it says here the consumer key and then the consumer secret, right? So just copy the routine and put it into your app. It's actually I have it here. Let me copy this one. Okay, so the base URL, what is that one? The base URL is just this one, the base URL for the Twitter API. So all the time we need to put that one in HTTPS. So with this one, with the HTTPS, then you don't need to disable the app transport, right? Okay, so the first thing we have the Twitter client. So the next one. So what does it mean by deauthorize? So deauthorize mean whoever log in before just log out now. Sometimes your app still stuck somewhere and it still store some of the information from the previous user. For example, your phone is used by multiple users. You use and later you log out, or the user using it, and it is still the information is still stuck somewhere. You just make sure that whoever logged in before should be logged out. So you use the deauthorize. Okay, so the first step is what? Fetch the request token, right? So call the Twitter client, and then because this one the bot they only have implement the function needed for the award one. So if you shut that one, it have all the function you need. It's called fetch request token, right? Okay, so it's you just one is bunch of the parameter, right? So fetch request token, going back here, see. So when I fetch the request token, the path, I need some path for the request token. So where is the path? So if you go to, okay, so here, the first step is to obtain the request token, right? If you want to get the request token, you need to go to this one. Okay, so this will be the path, because you only set the base API, the base URL here. Remember the base URL as we said before. So here the base URL, we only have the API twitter.com thing. So now you just need to add the netting, this one, this part only. So to get the request token, you need to access to this one, award request token. Okay, so you going back here, and then here with path, then you need to put in the string here, award request token, and the method. What is the method? So you have two methods, right? Post or get, and this one is the method is post. Okay, so let's copy this one. The method is says post. Okay, and then the callback URL. What is this? I don't know. Just put new. Let's go new. Later we will revisit that one to see what we should put there. And then for the success, so what we do if we successfully get the request token, right? Okay, so if we successfully get the request token, so this one will be the response will be this type, and then for example I print here, I say I get the request token, right? And then if something wrong, it fail, right? So the error, and then I should print error dot description. Okay, whatever the error. Okay, so just try this one first and run and see what do we have. So I put it in iPhone SE, right, and run it. So we just do the very first step with the request, get the request token, right? I should show the terminal. Okay, so we had the app here with one button. I click on that button, see, we get the request token, right? So but what is the request token? I just print something there. So what is it? Is it really we get the request token? Can we try to print the request token? right? So it will be response do we have request token, request dot no dot token. Yep. Okay, so when I log in, see, I get the request token here. Whatever the thing, this is optional because you need later you need to cast that one to the string, but at least I get something, right? Okay, so what is the second step? After we get the request token, we need to redirect the user. So now with the request token, you redirect the user to the link that user need to log into their account, right? Log into their Twitter account. So on the second step, you need to set the authentication URL, and then user need to go to this link. Okay, just copy this one. Okay, so after you got the request token, and then you will, right, this stream request. Now this one is because this one is optional thing, something, right? So I need to cut this one to request token equal to response token. Okay, something like this. Anyone familiar with this one? Applet. You know why it is? So you should be familiar with this one, right? Applet meaning if this one is not new, then you put it, you assign the that unnew thing into this response, and then you can see. Hey, so now I will able to get this one, and now I know this one is not new, and I should able to use this one, right? And now I say or not response, right? So L here, for example, just print response new, I know, for whatever the reason the response may new, for example, like that, right? Okay, so what we are going to do next? So what did we need to open that URL, right? Somehow we need to redirect the user to that URL, and this is redirecting the user to that page, and user will need to key in their account. Okay, so it has a function called UI application and then open URL. So this is how you use to open the URL. So just copy this one, going back here after we got the OAuth URL, right? So UI application and then open URL. So we got the authorized URL here. Should put it here, and this one should not load. Oh, okay. What happened? Okay. Nope. What? Nope. Should remove this one. Oh. Okay. So it will open this URL. So what will it open? Let's see. Okay, I log in again. Oh, it's crashed. What happened? Meaning, let me see. Application.share open URL. Oh, what happened is that it doesn't have the do you know this one? The PO. This is how you do the debug. So you put you open the terminal there, and you just PO mean print out, and then you can print whatever the thing and see if actually this one is new or not. Try to print this one, see, oh, it's new. So what happened is, causing that's new, we have here string on authorize token. Why does one become new? We build the response. The response we had something right. So response dot token. We also had the response and also had the token. But then this one is some is this one optional, right? So I need to cut this one. Can I run again? Right, so that's how you do the debug. If thing crash and it just stop there, and you had the debugging terminal here, then you just build whatever you want, and then it will show one by one. You know which one is new. Okay, so cool. So after you have this one, you have the URL, and then you open that URL. So you use the function of UI application share and the dot open URL. So you will able to open the authentication URL. So the authentication URL is, this is the page URL, right? And it's combined with the award authorize and award token. If you go back to Twitter development documentation, you also see this one is from this one. I think I need to go back. Okay, so on the step number 2, it will show you how to get this link, right? You see here, and then here you need to put in the token, whatever the request token you just get. You put it there, and then you redirect the user to that page. Okay, so now I'm in that page. So normally, if you because before I already log in, I already key in my account and I check on like remember me. And then it go directly here. It doesn't show the page that I need to type in my username, my password. But if you, first time you log in, you will see that one, and you just need to enter one. You check on remember me, then you will remember. So after you log in successfully, it will show this one. So you need to click on authorize app. Okay, so after you authorize, it will move you back to the app. But for now, why it moved me to the coderschool.vn? Remember the callback URL I said before? Go back to the detail page, the detail tab. See here, the callback URL. For now, I set the callback URL is this one. Meaning, after whatever the step I did, and then I just authorize the app, it will run the callback URL. I just set the callback URL to be Coder School, and that's why after you click on that one, it runs to the Coder School. But it is not what we want, right? What we want is after they authorize the app, you need to go back to the app. I say, hey, I authorize, and you need to bring me back to this one, and then go into the home page. After you successfully log in, you should skip this one. You go to the home page, right? Okay, so now how are we going to override the callback URL, right? So go back to this one. Okay, remember the things. We have one thing here before. Okay, here we put this one be new, right? This is where you override the callback URL. You put a new callback URL here, and then ask that web page after you authorize, it should go somewhere else. Don't go to whatever the Coder School thing. Okay, so how are we going to implement that to override this one? So it's the URL, right? So you need the URL, and then what do you put in here? It should be a string. Remember the other thing, and then I say I want the URL is, just look at it, my Twitter. Okay, so what does it mean? It should put like, normally it should be like HTTP or something like that. I create my own. I say I want the URL to be started with my Twitter, and then you don't need to care about this one. Why you need this one later I can talk, but for now just care about the first one. I say the URL will be my Twitter, and then colon and then slash slash. So how do I let the iOS know that, hey, when you see this one, you need to open my app, right? Remember before, here is where after you log in this one, you will go to the Safari, right? It will open the Safari, and then when you authorize, you click on authorize, it will open this link. Now you override the URL. It's open this link, and then the Xcode need to the iOS need to somehow know it's, hey, how can I open this link, right? And then let me run first to see what happened. Okay, I log in. Let's go to this page, and then I click on authorize. Okay, so it say I cannot open because now I already override the Coder School thing. It doesn't open the Coder School. It actually is open the my Twitter and then slash thing. But then we need to somehow say, hey, it's cool. When you see this one, you need to open the Twitter app, right? How do we do that one? Okay, so let me copy this one, and you, okay, too small. It's actually too small now. You click on this one, the target. So if okay, and I made it bigger. Oh yeah, come on. Okay, never mind. So we had the project here and the target here. You need to click on the target. Okay, remember target. Don't click on the project. Okay, click on the target one, and then you go into the info tab. Here, see that, and then you go to the URL type, and you add new one. The identifier is actually the identifier of your app. Remember, when you create a new project, it will ask you to put in the identifier. This is normally the revert of your website or symbol or something like that, whatever the thing is. Actually, it will check for the identifier, and every app it should have a different identifier. That's why it revert your website, so to make sure that, hey, this is your website and your app name, so it will not duplicate it with someone else. Okay, so the icon, never mind. Okay, so this is where you put it in. I just put it in here. My Twitter, and I say this one. Okay, and then let me run to see if it actually can open. Okay, I say login, and then I authorize. Yeah, it's still not work. So why? Let me see what happened here. It's not working. Is it my Twitter login page? My Twitter. Go back to this one. Am I set the identifier correctly? Where did I set as well? The info. Identifier. I don't know if the different identifiers is still working or not. I'm gonna set here my Twitter. Is it? Oh, no. Again? Am I missing any step? Cannot open. The address is invalid. What did I do wrong? let me go back this one. I think I forget this one. Why it doesn't work? My shortcut. Let me close and open again. See. Okay. Still cannot. I don't know why. What did I do wrong? My Twitter. Can you check out again? What is the UI scheme? Okay. So app is invalid. Wait a moment, huh? So just say convert URL to type correctly. Let me try a different URL. My Twitter, and then I use this one. Oh, I don't know what happened, but the previous schema it doesn't work. Maybe before I only use that one, and then it's like collide, like conflict with the URL scheme I used before. Then it may doesn't work. But later when you go back and do your assignment, so don't use the same thing, because later when I grade your assignment, it will be everything will be, hey, if the URL scheme is my Twitter, then open my app, then when I run that one, 10 of the app will be, hey, I can open that link, and then Xcode will not know which one to open. Okay, so try to make that one unique. Whatever you want, like you put your name there, whatever. Then whenever the Xcode see that one, it can know which app it can open this kind of link. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Somehow it's the scheme, the previous scheme it didn't work, but this one is working. Okay. Okay. So when you do this one, you just see we authorize, right? So authorize, and then it will ask you, hey, you want to open the my Twitter app. Okay. When it see this kind of link, it say, hey, yeah, this app can open this kind of link. Do you want to use this one to open? So that's the meaning. So then you say open, and you can go back to this one, right? So when you go back to this one, what is the next step? So after you finish that one, you already have the step 2. You finish the step 2, right? Meaning you redirect the user to that authentication page, and then user authorize the app to use their account. So you finish the step 2. So the next step, you need to convert the request token to access token. The access token is the key. You need the key to access to your account. The first step, you just get the request token, and then the last one after the user authorize, then you need to do the last one is to convert the request token to the accept token. Okay, so let me go back to this one. So what happened before? Let's hide all the thing. Okay, so you go back to the app delegate. So again, what is the app delegate? So this is the file that is handle all the stage of your app, right? Remember the thing. What happened if your app become active, your app become go into the foreground, go into the background, or your app did finish lunch. Remember this one. So some people asking about how to customize the search bar, the UI navigation bar. So this is where you want to do the customization, right? You put the code in the did finish lunch with option. So as soon as your app lunch, it will go to this code, and then you do the customization here. Okay, but that's not what we want. What we want is when your app going back from an URL, you need to do something. Right. After step 2, you only get the authorization from the user. Hey, I grant your action. You can use my account to on my behalf to do the thing from Twitter, for example. Then here we have something called the open URL. So if you click on this one, meaning so this code will go back when this code will be triggered when you go back from the authorization page, right? So let me try to print this one to see. Okay, see, it requires some return here. Okay, login, we authorize. This is step 2. You redirect the user to this page to authorize. Oh, so now it doesn't work. What happened? Huh? Something wrong. The same code, right? We change anything? No, not this one. No, I did say the app delegate, and then just say I going back from this one. Authorize. Yeah. Which one? In this one? No, this one. Well, but it just worked before. Then
I think because at the side of
okay, let me try. Open. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's good. So you don't need the slash and the color. No, somehow it's worked before and it doesn't work. Okay, never mind. So if you see here, it say I going back from the authentication page. I mean, it's actually trigger the code inside the. Where is it? Here. So it's only trigger the code here, right? So now the next step is that we need to convert the whatever the request token into the accept token, right? So here you need to do the same thing again, because from this file you don't know whatever the Twitter client. Later you need to do something like Twitter client.fetch access token. You need to do that one, but in this scope you don't know what is the Twitter client. That's why you need to do it again here. Just do the ugly way first. Later we will refactor the code to how to use this one only one time, because you don't need to code this one twice. Right? Okay, so just get this one, and then you need to convert the request token into the access token, right? And if you see here, where the request token, if you see the link, the URL is going back here. The URL is going back from here, and within this one it has something like the OAuth token with this one. So if you compare this one, the OAuth token with the request token before U4, BU4, yeah, something like that. So this will be the request token. Then you need to grab the request token here, right? Because within this scope of the app delegate, you don't know what is the request token. You did get the request token before, but then the request token go around together with the URL, and now you grab that thing. So I say let request token go to so the request token is go together with the URL, right? So we need to get that one. So we have the one function called PTP credential, and this one the query string. And what is the query? Will be the URL dot query. Okay, then with this one we get the request token. URL is the URL that's going back. So when you going back from something, it know the URL, and the URL it bring together with it the request token. So now you get the request token, and then from the request token you need to convert this one into the access token. So you do the Twitter client, and then you have something called fetch access token. Cool, right? But this one is only implement though the function is required for you. So again, for the fetch access token, if you're going back to the Twitter APIs, we have the similar thing, and what we need to do is this is the thing OAuth access token. So I put the thing here, and then the method will be post request token. I should get the request token here, right? So just put it there. I had the request token, and what happened when I successfully get this one? Spawn, and then the code. So let's print here. Say I got the access token, right? And then what happened if error? Same thing, print. So we need to print out the error. So this is just in unhappy but you have some error, and then you need to handle the error. Okay. So what happened here? This one. Okay, so let's see if we're able to get the access token. Okay, so we got the access token, right? This printed line means is successfully go into here, right? So we get the access token. So from there, from that moment you already had the full access to the user account. Meaning from this moment, I can do whatever I want with my Twitter account using this app. Right. So what we want to do is, for example, I want to get my personal information. Let's go to REST API. What is that? So now all the thing we need to get, right? We will get the what up? Now let me see. Oh, this one. Get the account and verify credentials. Where is it? agree. Oh, this one. So this is the documentation. Later you can read the documentation, whatever the function you want to use. You go to the documentation and then you can see it, how to use that API. What is the required parameter? What is the optional parameter? For example, this one is say all the parameter are optional, right? Meaning I don't need to add in any other parameter. I just need to send this request, the sample request like this one, and then this will return something like this. And again, this is what a JSON, right? A JSON dictionary with the key and this is the value. So when it returns something like this one, I will be able to get, for example, what do we have here? The description of the user, the profile image. There's some profile image here, and then some other like the status of the user. So let's try to print us out to see. Let me grab the thing. Okay, so after you get only after you get the access token, then you had access to that one, right? First thing first, I get the user. I want to know who will log in, right? So we same thing here. We do the Twitter client, and then we have the function called get. And then after get, and then you put the thing here. Where do you get the thing here? Just going back to the whatever the API you want, and then you will see the link here. This is the base URL. You already define the base URL. You don't need to repeat this one. Just start from here. So it will be from one by one to whatever to the rest. So you just copy that one and you put in here. See, and parameter. Now do you need to put in any parameter? No, right? You just read through that API and you see as all the parameter is optional, meaning you don't need to put in any parameter. So just put new progress new. Progress what? For example, later you do some API code, it takes very long, and then you put in the progress here. It will it say you finish 10%, 20%, 50%. So you can show the progress bar for the user. That's how you use this one. But in this case, very quickly you can get the thing back. Then you don't need to set the progress. Okay, so after it response, so it will have the user here. So look at this, the response. So it will be the dictionary, right? A JSON, and then it's a dictionary key here in the value there. Then you have the response here. So the response, the type any object, and then you need to cast the response into the dictionary. And then for example, I say I want to get the user. So we let the user equal to the response. Then we get the name, we get the string name, and we get the profile image URL. Okay, so let's print this one to see what do we have. Login. Okay, so this is my information, right? So this is, we have the name, my name here, and this is my string name. String name is the user, the username. Right? The Twitter, when you say add, and then whatever the string name will be this one, and then this one will be the my user profile image, right? So you see this one, how we're going to use the API to get the thing. Let's try something else. Whatever you want to get. Let's get some whatever the information on my home screen. So how are we going to use this one? Go back here and you see the get here, and then you're looking for something like get home screen or similar that. See, get the status and home timeline. Right. Home timeline will return a collection of most recent tweets. I don't remember how many tweets it will return, 20 or something. Later you can read this one, and I think it will be 20. So it will return the default is 20. So it will return the most recent, the newest 20 tweets on your home timeline. And then what is the API? So you copy from here one by one, and status is the home timeline JSON, right? So you can use this one. We have it here. Let's try to get this one quickly. Right, after you get the user, and then now we try to get the timeline. Okay, same thing, you put the API here, and then the return of this one is an array of dictionary, right? Because it will return 20 of your tweets, so you get the array of dictionary. So you need to cast this one into array of dictionary, and then for every tweet within this array, you should bring it out here. Right. Later, when you're going back, you need to get this one and display this thing on the table view, right? Within this tweet, if you have a bunch of things, it's not just the tag. Now I should bring out the tag, but if you look at that, for example, this is the example. So this is an array of dictionary, right? So if you look at here, you see what time this tweet is created. For example, you want to create a tweet and you say this one is about like 10 days ago, this one is 5 days ago, something like that. Then you can get the information from here. And then what else? The text, just another thing. And then is this one retweeted? Like if you use a Twitter, you know that hey, like people like this post and they want to retweet this one, right? Similar to share on Facebook, or is this one favorite is similar to like. Then this is the user information. So usually who posts this one. Later you also need to get the information to show it the profile picture of the user who posts this tweet, right? So get back this one to see if we're able to print this one. Authorize the app, open. I should not click in one more time. So I should click that one only one. Okay, so I'm going back from here and it print out some of the tweet on my. Okay, this is some of the tweet on my Twitter now. See a lot of things like new from that submission. I use my account to do the grading, so it should be a new tweet from Hannah, reply from Hannah. So a lot of things there. But actually you're able to get the thing from my timeline, right? You compare this one with Approve UI. I do the thing is not something random. Okay, so on my tweet here, I follow Taylor Swift, so we show a bunch. Okay, so this is show the thing for example, it's new from that submission testing, and see, I'm able to get this one. So later you need to get this one and display that one into the table view, right? So that's how the very first step, how you able to use the award to access to the Twitter, and then to authorize your app to use a user account, right? And then after this one, you can use a bunch of API over there, whatever you want. It's here. You go to the RESTful API here, and whatever the function, you read the README and it will require you how you going to post a new tweet. You need to favorite a tweet. You need to retweet a tweet, and then the action you look for this one, which one you need to use, and then just implement that function. Okay, and I didn't talk about this one, the Twitter client. So this one, we did one here, and we also did one in where the login view controller, right? So how are you going to combine this one into one thing? So remember the Yep client. For the Yep app, we have the Yep client thing. Okay, so remember this one. You need to move everything into one file, the Yep client, and then we have a class called Yep client here, and just you put the thing here, and it just run once. It should run one. This one, the share instance. This one is just run one. We don't need to everywhere from this file, because for example later you have another screen called the detail screen. like the detail for the tweet screen or the new tweet screen. For every screen, you don't need to recreate the Twitter client one more time. So you need to somehow put the thing into the Twitter client.script, right? And then we had a video for that one. The next step of this one, you can watch on that video, and you will know how to put all the thing into one file. Okay, so that's it for today. 9 o'clock.